And the third principle, when in doubt, be Sony. And the third principle, when in doubt, be Sony. And the third principle, when in doubt, be Sony. Be Sony? I have wondered a great deal this past year if we really know what that means. I wonder if we know how to put being Sony at the forefront of our minds, our business souls, and our daily activities. My question for you this morning is not, are we ready to play, but rather, are we ready to be Sony? Ide-san has recently quoted, "Our ability to survive in the 21st century and continue to shine depends on our ability to regain that venture spirit of Sony's founding days." At the heart of SONY lies the philosophy, do things that no one else has done. Dreamed of by Ibuka-san and Morita-san during Sony's infancy in Tokyo, this ideal still lives through the passion of the men and women who recognize and practice our founders' legacy. The irony is, as the belief in this unshakable founding principle has worked to grow the brand Sony, and as new people and new business domains are added to the company, the spirit of Sony becomes somewhat distant and undefined to us, particularly in the US. Sony Electronics Inc., Sony Pictures Entertainment Inc., Sony Music Entertainment Inc., Sony PlayStation Inc., Sony Online Inc. We all share a common family name, but are becoming less and less connected to the very meaning of being Sony. It is a natural cause and effect inherent in growth itself. To overcome this phenomenon of growth and diversification, it is critical that we regain a common understanding of the core values that are the very soul of Sony, and infuse these values to every individual in our U.S. organization. Then, and only then, can the spirit of Sony truly enrich and enlighten our American agenda. Today, I would like to share with you some stories that will demonstrate how Sony's values and Sony's true culture can shed a brilliant light on our past, unify our present organization, and advance our position as the most distinctive and the most liked company in the network era. The four stories I would like to tell you about are the meaning of Sony, the Sony spirit, the Sony community playground, and the Sony brand vision. Story one, the meaning of Sony. When Ibuka-san and Morita-san founded the company, they had a very clear reason for doing so. In fact, they created a prospectus that articulated their ideals and their purpose for incorporation. And from it, we can learn to find the meaning and direction to questions we should often ask ourselves. Why is Sony in business? Why should I get up every morning and go to work there, at Sony? Why are we all here? Well, here's a thought about what they created. We are not here to make money. We are not here to raise our market cap. We are not here to protect our leadership market share, not to defend and protect our channels of distribution. We are not here to rule the internet. We are not here to be the most innovative technology company on the face of the planet, not to provide the highest quality, best crafted Daiginju products. Nobody at Sony makes TVs. Nobody makes surround sound stereos or game shows or albums or purple laptop computers. Not a soul among us makes super anti-shock technology or tiny digital crash bandicoot creatures. The producers at Sony Pictures don't make summer blockbusters. The folks at Sony Music don't make triple platinum records. And no matter what the industry tells us, our engineers and new products don't make miracles. At Sony, we make people's toes tap. We make lumps in people's throats. We make the corners of their mouths turn up and the hair stand up on the back of their necks. And in some extreme cases, we make people howl at the moon. We make memories, the best kind, the kind you don't need RAM for. We make lifestyles and we make cultural phenomenons. To date, millions of Sony products have been produced in over 80 countries throughout the world through 15 or so different operating companies with hundreds of departments by over 150,000 employees. But we are all making the same thing, that one thing that Ibuka and Marita dreamed of. The real meaning and higher purpose of what we do at Sony is to create joy. Joy in people's lives that comes from wonderful innovations and entertainment. The meaning of S-O-N-Y is J-O-Y. It is there in the original prospectus. To help dramatize this point, we created a digital story for you. I borrowed a piece of music that was first released in the year 1824, and in this version, contemporized by one of Sony Music's youngest and most promising stars. Set against the music are images that come from across the entire U.S. Sony enterprise. And together, the story they tell just feels like, well, see for yourself.
And the best new artist is Lauryn Hill.
And the album of the year is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
You know that we couldn't have done that without Sony World Music.
Joyful, joyful Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee. Hail thee as the sun above. Where the clouds of sin and sadness drive the dark of doubt away. Give everyone so gladness. Fill us with a light. Fill us with a light. With the light of day.
Joyful, joyful Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee. Hail me as the sun above. Hail the clouds of sin, sin and sadness. Drive the dark of doubt away. Drive it away. Giver of immortal gladness. Fill us with the light of day. Light of day.
Check the rhyme. Joyful, joyful, Lord, we adore thee. And in my life I put none before thee. Cause since I was a youngster I came to know that you was the only way to go.
So I have to grow and come to an understanding that I'm down with the king, so now I'm the man that you tell me who you're down with. See, cause all I know is that I'm down with G.O.D. You down with G.O.D.?
And you know me.
You down with G.O.D.?
And you know me.
You down with G.O.D.?
And you know me.
Who's down with G.O.D.?
Everybody, coming from the chorus, the mighty, mighty chorus, which the morning star began. The Father of love is riding over the way. What have you done for him lately? Ooh, yeah. What have you done for him lately? He watches over everything, so we sing joyful, joyful, Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee. Hail thee as the sun above. Fill us with the light of day. Light of day.
How does that feel?